I was 16 years old and going to college part time, and the first day of class, there was a girl in the classroom that I liked. And at the time, I was very overweight. I was a sodaholic. I ate a lot of junk food for many years. I can't think of a time I drank anything other than soda. I really was a sodaholic. My dad was a sodaholic as well. We always had a lot of soda at home. This was in 2003. We were really innocent. Even my younger brother was drinking soda as a baby. This was back when we were innocent. Kind of like just before Prohibition, right, with alcohol, right? And I got home and I was just about to reach for a soda. Like I said, our house was overflowing with soda. And I thought to myself, you know what? Let's try some water. Soda will be here tomorrow if I still want it, right? And I picked up some water and I drank it and I thought to myself, hey, I could do this for the rest of my life. And long story short, I never looked back. And so, did anything happen with that girl? Not really. But I've met other girls that I probably wouldn't have had I not stopped drinking soda, right? And I never really saw her again after graduation, and I don't know if she even knows that the impact that she had on my life, right? I was working at a tutoring center 3 years ago, and I don't always get along with my work. Right now, I do get along with my work, but I have to realize that I'm kind of on the beneficiary side of the prejudice, right? And I don't like that either. But a lot of times, even when work politics look like that, there's always a bright spot when I interact really well with the students. Now, one of my students was studying quite a few grade levels ahead of his age. He was studying AP chemistry, and he had brought this really fancy periodic table. And I know he's really ahead of his time, so I wanted to show him something. He had a really fancy periodic table that showed the rarity of all of the elements in the Earth's crust. And at the time, I didn't really know a lot, but I did know that platinum is rarer than gold, and in normal times, it should be worth a lot more than gold. At the time, it was only worth half to a third of gold. It still is, but gold is a lot higher now, right? And I wanted to show him that. I took a look at his periodic table, and then wait a minute. I didn't realize that bismuth was almost as rare as gold. I knew it was really cheap. I didn't know how cheap, because I knew people make art out of it, right? I can't imagine just a random hobbyist buying a metal almost as expensive as gold just to make crystals, right? So I knew it was a lot cheaper. I was thinking it was maybe on par with silver. I didn't know because I never ordered any bismuth at that point. As I was showing him the platinum and silver and how cheap they are relative to their rarity to gold, I realized bismuth as well. And I said, well, take a look at this. I think silver and platinum are really good buying opportunities. And by the way, look at bismuth. Right? I got to go home and look up the price, but I guarantee it's a lot cheaper than gold. I was showing him the table. And then I went home and I ordered 10 pounds of bismuth. Now, at the tutoring center, a lot of times we were stuck in our chairs for hours in a row, and now not very healthy. So I took the bar of bismuth to the office to use as gym weights while I was tutoring, and I was telling my student about that, and he thought I had ordered platinum because I was talking about it the day before. And I was like, gee, if I had a lot of platinum, by the way, I would still come to the tutoring center, but do you think I would bring that here? I was using that as an opportunity to tell my student that we don't need to quit our jobs just when we hit it rich, right? I was using that as an opportunity to say that as well. But I used the 10-pound bismuth bar as gym weights while I was tutoring, and then I discovered how to make crystals out of it. And long story short, now I make art out of all sorts of stuff, and I got a few things up on Lego ideas for voting and all that. I can't tell you what my life would look like without these two events. I probably have all sorts of chronic health conditions today, and I wouldn't have an outlet when I was having a stressful day at work or with my art project. I can't, I don't want to imagine what life minus those two events would be. I really don't. All right, your turn. Anybody have a butterfly effect? And tell me what your life would look like without that event.